irreverent, and really, really gay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me tonight on Off Limits. Tonight I'm talking about burnout, as well as a lot of other things on the show tonight I wanted to discuss, including David Archuleta's little Twitter fiasco, and also several movies I wanted to mention, and some other things going on. Of course, the Indiana pizza thing. That's ridiculous. So before I start, if you wanted to find out more about me, you can always find out more about me at offlimitshow.com. You can also go to Spreaker.com, and on iTunes, you can subscribe there as well if you'd like to subscribe to the show and to the podcast as well. So thanks for listening wherever you're listening from. So tonight, by the way, if you want to call into the show, you can tonight. The call-in number is 214-377-0481 or 89. I can't remember which. It's on the top of the page. Just look it up. Feel free to call in either way. But I want to talk tonight about, burnout. And I talked a little bit about this last week, I should say, on the show. And I talked about how a lot of us, how I had done this show, was doing this show one show, an episode per day for a year was my plan, and how I burn out doing it. And interestingly, I recently have realized that I have really been burnt out in my personal life as well for quite a while now, because I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends, and so to speak. So you can certainly hold on. I'm trying to tweet out everything about the show while I'm doing this. The stupid thing is, when I start the show, I don't have any time to actually tweet out or anything because I'm too busy trying to play the 30-second intro that iHeart lets you play. It won't let you play anything else, so it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I'm trying to do that while I talk, so that's why I'm distracted and rambling while I do this, so I can actually get two things done at once. But anyway, so I was talking about how being burnt out really can affect you, or that's what I'm talking about tonight, rather, because really it's true. And I have been, I have my own business, and I have had my own business I've had my own business for 15 years. I've worked for myself for 15 years, and since I was 25 years old. And I have, always loved that. I'm not a good employee because I'm a good boss, and I'm good at bringing people together for various things in business or whatever. But I'm not good at taking orders from other people, because typically I always feel like I can do a better job than they can anyway. At least when I was working for other people in my 20s, I felt that way. And half the time it was true, or most of the time actually. So I've been working for myself for a long time, and I am a perfectionist about things. I don't like to disappoint people, and I'm very cognizant of how I come across in business, and I don't want people to be disappointed in my work for them. So I always hold myself to an extremely high standard. And it's really more, of course, clients do as well, but for me personally, I hold myself to a higher standard than anyone else ever could. And it goes that way in my personal life and in my business life as well. I'm just a very perfectionistic person in terms of my own, my own self expectations or whatever. I'm certainly not somebody who likes to do a half-assed job about anything. Now, if it's something I don't enjoy doing, I will do a half-assed job. It's that simple, because the truth is, if I don't like doing something, I don't want to do it anyway. And I rarely do things I don't want to do, but occasionally you're kind of forced into doing something because you have to, or because you promised to, or made a commitment or whatever. And I have never been someone who does well in that situation. A lot of people, or some people, can do well regardless whatever they're doing. They can do a good job. But for me, if my heart isn't in it, if my soul isn't in it, I just don't do a good job. For example, if it's something manual labor or something that's mindless, I just don't do a good job at it. I just don't, because I don't enjoy it. It's just not my cup of tea. I need something that's intellectually stimulating, creative, those types of things that can constantly stimulate my mind. And so I'm getting to a point. But anyway, so when I'm doing my work and things for people, I certainly, my clients through architecture, design, real estate, whichever one it is, because I do all of those, I have very high expectations of myself. And so if I disappoint a client, I'm very disappointed in myself. And sometimes it can't be helped. I mean, there's extenuating circumstances, especially in what I do, working with contractors and, people outside of myself, vendors and things I can't control, just have to rely on their word or their promises that things will be in on time or they'll do something the right way or whatever. And so those things, drive me crazy when those things don't go right. And every project has something go wrong because it's never, when it comes to construction or architecture or design, nothing is ever, you can never plan every single thing out to the last detail. It's just not possible. People think it is, but it's impossible because especially when you're dealing with residential architecture, interior design, or construction or remodeling, because you never know what you're going to find out behind the wall. You never know what's the client's going to change their mind, which they always do. They want to change this to that, and they think it's an easy thing, and it really isn't. So anyway, my point is the past few months, I've been burning the candle at both ends, or at least up until middle of February, I'd say. And it was driving myself crazy. I was riddled with anxiety and riddled with just self-doubt and having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and somewhat of agoraphobia in some ways. I mean, a mild case of it. And so I just was not. I was realizing I'm fucking going crazy because of all the stress I put on myself. And the stress was put on by myself because I was trying to please everyone, make everyone happy, and be perfect. But I realized I couldn't please everyone all the time. I also realized I need to get a new assistant because I had an assistant years ago, and when the economy tanked, I didn't really need one anymore. But I kind of do now because I'm real busy the past couple of years, and I'm doing everything that I used to do with two people, I'm doing now with one. So I just realized I had to just let it go. And there's a saying that anxiety and stress are problems that come on from caring about what other people think or about what else is going to happen, trying to control things. And the only remedy for that is just not giving a shit and fuck it all. And that's kind of how I ended up being, I ended up just kind of saying, fuck it all. I am not going to give a fuck anymore. I can't control these things. I literally had a conversation in my head sort of saying, I cannot control these things. I can't control these things. All I can do is control what I can control. The things I can't control, they're out of my control. They will just be what they'll be. And so that's how I had to see it. And I realized after I did that and really just told myself that and let go of all the fucking stress and the anxiety and just said, whatever the fuck happens, happens. I can only do so much. I'm only one human being. I was much less stressed out, and I've allowed myself to do that, and I'm much happier as a result of it. And so things that once bothered me a great deal, I would have anxiety about, I should say, or stress over, I no longer do. And I'm much happier now. Sometimes things fall through the cracks. Sometimes things don't go perfectly like the way I want them to. And that's okay. And so I think it's important that and I think gay people, especially gay men, I think gay lesbians too, probably, we have, very high standards that we want to meet for ourselves, because we often feel that we've disappointed our families or our friends or whomever, and by being gay, by being what we are, which is ridiculous that we should feel that way, but we often do. I think I don't think I felt that way consciously, but I think a lot of us have felt that way subconsciously, and that's why a lot of gay people are such perfectionists and have such are such overachievers and try to achieve so much in our lives, because we are always trying to overcompensate for the things that we feel we lack. And even though we shouldn't feel that way, but we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be better than our heterosexual brethren, because we have to be in order to be on the same par. So I think that we put a lot of undue stress on ourselves as a result of that, and having to contend with facing the fact that we're gay and facing the fact that we're different and trying to fit in to some degree. So if you're burnout, if you are in in a space in your life or place in your life like I was, where you just are just overwhelmed by too much at one time, and you can't seem to find your way out. You can't seem to find you don't get sleep, you get anxiety, you're getting stressed, you're gaining weight, or whatever the case is, as a result of these things. Let go, and just let things be what they're going to be, because you cannot control anything. The truth is, you can't really control anything. You can control yourself, your own actions, and how you react to what happens to you. But outside of that, you really can't control anything. It's all up to the universe or God or whatever it is you believe in, or just happenstance, whatever. Has nothing to do with what you yourself can control. So stop trying to control everything if you're like me, and just let things be. And so that's where I had to be, and I had to kind of let go of that. So that's why I called it burnout. But anyway, on to the topics of the show. So David Archuleta, he, as you probably already know, had tweeted something a few days ago, where he said, "Romantic love is incomplete. It's a prelude. Love is nourished by the coming of children who spring from the fountain of love, expressed between a man and a woman in marriage." And there was a great deal of backlash as a result of that from the gay community, because they felt that he was saying gays and lesbians are not on the same par with heterosexual marriage or whatever, or relationships. And he came out with a statement yesterday, I think, and he said, "I apologize if I offended anyone with the quote I sent out Saturday. I guess I didn't think about the line expressed between a man and a woman in marriage being stressed when the whole quote didn't fit in just one tweet. I am sorry if my intentions were misunderstood, as my main focus was that too often romance is looked at as the end-all when there is so much more. The bonds that can be there within a family and raising kids, as is the most valuable thing I have, my family. I do hope, however, that whomever may have been offended may know I respect everyone's freedom to believe and live as they choose. I hope others can respect what I value most in my life as well. Again, I'm sorry, and please forgive me if I offended you, David." Now, he's a nice kid for the most part, and so I probably think he did mean it the way he said, but I don't think that changes the fact that he probably believes that as well. I mean, he is a Mormon, raised by a very domineering father who's also a Mormon and made him go to, the stupid mission and all that kind of stuff after American Idol. And I've always thought he was a closet case, personally. I never thought he was really heterosexual. He strikes me as gay, but he may not be. I mean, it's hard to tell, actually. But he did have a good song, I remember, called Crush. I can't remember how it went. I remember the video vaguely. He was on a boat with this girl or whatever. And but it actually was a good song. The song he released called Crush, and I liked it a lot. And he's cute or whatever, but I think, these people, Mormons, are not exactly on our side when it comes to gay marriage and gay relationships and gay rights. And so for him to have said what he said was not shocking to me, whether he meant it that way or not. But it is, unfortunately, it's true that they do believe that, and so I wasn't surprised. The other thing that's going on is the Indiana Pizzeria that you guys, I'm sure, have heard of as well, has been getting so many, oh, hey, CDC whistleblower, I'll call you. How are you? I was talking about David Archuleta is who I was talking about. CDC whistleblower in the chat room was talking to me. I'm responding to what she's saying. I was talking about David Archuleta, who had a tweet that tweeted out about gays, or about heterosexual marriage being the predominant one or whatever. Anyway, there's the Indiana Pizzeria that is in Indiana, obviously, and it is or has received over $840,000 in donations from anti-gay supporters, because the pizzeria was fighting the fact that they did not want to have to serve gay people, and that they felt that gay people were wrong and blah, blah, blah. So now they have received over $840,000 in donations just to make it a point. That's how much hatred there is. There's $840,000 plus dollars worth of hatred in this country, because people don't want to